Welcome to the Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dovston and great to have you with me. And welcome to all the new subscribers and followers on the podcast and on the channel. Great and super that you've joined this Ching conversation as we work towards clarity, agility, and of course, mastery. So this week we're looking at the week ahead, commencing Monday, the 9th of September, 2019. And it's going to be quite an easy one for me today because lo and behold, when I cast the coins for this week, we get exactly the same hexagram as last week. The same main hexagram, the same two changing lines in the 5th and the 6th position, and the same outcome hexagram. 43 breakthrough leading to 14 possession in great measure. Now, the statistical probability of exactly the same hexagram and changing lines 2 weeks in a row, I think is totally outstanding. And I tried to work out the probability but got very confuddled in all the numbers. So if you are a maths buff, please put us out of our misery and work out what is the chance of this happening 2 weeks in a row exactly the same. My interpretation of this is that we're being asked to double down on this idea of taking action on breakthrough and on asking for help, putting our decision out into the world, speaking it, and making a decision. Act now, now, now. So, if you missed the chance or were procrastinating last week around making a decision and taking action, this week is it. So, double down on breakthrough and, of course, the double down on the outcome of possession of great measure, the abundance of wealth, not just in monetary terms, but in wisdom and in capacity to serve. That is what awaits us for making the tough decisions we need to make now. So go and work with that. Go and watch last week's one to recap your memory. If you've already watched it, go watch it. Go and connect with what this is all about, because we are surely being called to really ratchet up our focus on making the decision we need to make at this time. While I've got you, I wanted to share with you some thoughts and an experience from the last few weeks around how these changing lines and these hexagrams might work for you in terms of timing. You've heard me say before that these weekly cycles of change and the monthly overviews we look at are not like a switch. You can switch on Monday, boom, suddenly we have breakthrough starting, and on Sunday night, we switch off the switch on 14, possession in great measure. It doesn't work like that. There's cycles of change, and sometimes for each of us, those cycles are a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, depending on what we're going through. And a few weeks ago, I'm sure you remember the hexagram we got, where the changing line spoke about going into the cave, hunting down the person who's retired in the cave and shooting them with an arrow, which means drawing them out of the cave because there's something that you need from them, something that's going to help you. This was for the hexagram 62, attention to detail. And I went through that the whole week thinking, I'm looking for this thing that's retired, this part of me that's withdrawn, the person that's retired, and I couldn't find that state of change that I needed to work through as the I Ching showed. So I thought, I hope maybe you've experienced it, or maybe I was a little bit off, I don't know. Well, a few days into the new week, following that week, I had coffee with a person, a wonderful person, you know who you are, who shared with me the story of their retiring from a situation, their withdrawing out of a situation they were currently in. That was unexpected. And I sat there, and as a result of that conversation, I had this massive aha moment, a huge realization that allowed me to make some big decisions and move through the next step in some of the things that I'm working on. And it's because of that moment that, I don't know, everything was aligned, that I could just have enough space for that insight to land. It was only a few days later that I realized, that was the retiring person that I needed to connect with, because it was through that connection that this aha could happen, the eureka could happen, and the insight that I needed to shift out of where I was in a particular issue was available. So what I want to share with you is that I had such an evidential experience of the changing line that really blew me away. I was really excited about it. And I want to encourage you to have a bigger and broader view around the timing of cycles around these hexagrams. You might indeed find that when you watch a video or listen to the episode on Sunday night or on Monday morning getting ready for the week, you think, that's already started to happen. I'm already in that energy. That's okay. You might find you're a little ahead. And in that case, I was 3 days behind. And I sometimes find 3 days on either side, there's cycles that allow us to tap into that energy as it's evolving and helping us to evolve. And I hope that helps you as well. The same thing applies in working with our daily hexagrams. You might know that every morning I go and I cast the coins in the morning and I ask the question, what should we focus on today? So it's a little snippet, it's a small little incremental cycle of change. And I've sometimes found that I'm already working with that energy from the day before, or it kind of kicks in the day after. There are little bits of variation around the timing. It's not necessarily from midnight to midnight. You'll find, boom, we have this daily I Ching in play. So just have an open mind around the cycles of timing that are appropriate to you. Well, go back and watch last week's episode. Good luck with making those decisions. If you were procrastinating last week, now is the time. We're doubling down on making decisions and taking decisive action, even if we are taking action that seems a little wild to other people. Don't worry, you focus on your game and do what you need to do, whether that's a decision in your team, in your personal life, in your business, in your career, wherever it might be. You know, without me having to sit and chat to you one-on-one, you know what the issue is that you need to make a decision on. So go and do it. Many good wishes for this breakthrough week. If we put the time in, we can have the eureka, we can make the decision, and we can move into a state of abundance as a result of taking the risk. Have a great one, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.